Charles Leclerc claimed his second pole position in a row during a chaotic qualifying session for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. There was a total of 4 red flags, the most since the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2016. Turn 15 was the villain in Q1. Not once but twice did we see red flags due to crashes at the corner. Lance Stroll was the first to collide with the wall just 4 minutes into the session. He locked up and had nowhere to go. Antonio Giovinazzi also found himself in a spot of trouble. He locked up and went straight into the wall, not able to slow down. Both Stroll and Giovinazzi hadn't set times, meaning they didn't make it out of Q1. The Uralkali Haas F1 team drivers weren't able to make it to Q2. Nikita Mazepin will start 18th with Mick Schumacher ahead of him in 17th. Nicolas Latifi was the one that just missed out on Q2. He'll be starting 16th. Mercedes, AMG Petronas Formula 1 team and McLaren F1 team hadn't set times after the 2 red flags, so had to continue with worn tires. However, all drivers from both teams got through to Q2, with Lewis Hamilton topping the session. George Russell nearly didn't make qualifying. He came into an issue during the morning's practice and his team worked hard to get the car ready. Luckily, the red flags were on his side, and he was able to participate and get through to Q2. Lando Norris is due to be investigated after qualifying for red flag procedures. He was out on a lap and felt he was going too quick to come into the pit, so stayed out, which is against regulations. Another session, another red flag. This time from the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo locked up going into turn 3 and collided with the barrier. He was 13th at the time and will start the race there. His accident happened with 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Race control ultimately decided not to restart the session. Sebastian Vettel was audibly annoyed with this decision as he was on a flying lap. He wasn't able to make it out of Q2 and will start 11th. Esteban Ocon also clipped the wall at turn 3 but luckily avoided any damage to his car. He will be starting in 12th tomorrow. Other omission from Q2 was Kimi Raikkonen, who will start 14th, and George Russell, who will be in 15th. Max Verstappen was the fastest overall in Q2, but it was very close up top. Fernando Alonso finished Q2 in 10th, just half a second down, and the top 5 were separated by just 0.034s. Leclerc claimed his 9th career pole. The Ferrari driver set a lap that no one could touch. Hamilton is starting in 2nd. With the way Mercedes' weekend had been going, it wasn't looking like they could get one of their cars so far up the grid. However, Hamilton proved yet again why he is one of the greatest drivers of our time, pulling a flying lap out of nowhere. The end of qualifying certainly didn't come without its drama. Yuki Tsunoda crashed at turn 3 with half a minute left on the clock, red flagging and ending the session. Carlos Sainz Jr. also missed the turning and crashed into the runoff area. They're starting 8th and 5th respectively. Verstappen finishes off the top 3 in 3rd. His session was marred by the red flag, and the Dutch driver will surely believe he could have had more. Pierre Gasly continued to be strong. He'll start in 4th but was just shy of Verstappen's 3rd place time. Gasly will be one to watch in the race. Norris qualified in 6th. He is being investigated for his red flag procedures during Q1, so his position may change come race day. Sergio Perez had been speedy all weekend and he will also feel the red flags ruined his day. He could only get a lap that put him 7th fastest. Alonso out, qualified his Alpine F1 teammate for the first time this year. He'll be starting 9th but has to look over his shoulder with the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas in 10th. Another driver whose day was ruined by red flags. Copyright Maxi, the checkered flag, all rights reserved.